Hey guys, welcome back to Grave Reviews. My name's Chris, and today I checked out this new movie called Krazy House. It is directed by Flip van der Kuil and Steffen Haars. I'm sure I pronounced those wrong, so I apologize. Two directors that are from the Netherlands, and this movie stars Nick Frost and Alicia Silverstone. So the movie opens as if it's a 90s sitcom. We have a live studio audience laughing at jokes, and Nick Frost appears to be a very devout Christian man who has, some hijinks with his family, and it plays out in a satirical way of 90s sitcoms, Married with Children, Tool Time, stuff like that. And then three Russian guys show up to do some work on the house, and it turns out they have ulterior motives, and the movie spirals into very surreal, dark places, and some hijinks ensue. So this was my most disliked movie I've watched this year. And I'm sure a lot of it is subjective into my style of film that I like, but this movie was not fun. And it left me a little bit confused. I think I was expecting something that was a bit more satirical of the 90s sitcom and played into that humor in some ways, maybe like Too Many Cooks or something like that, where it does become weird, but is also familiar in a lot of ways with playing with the tropes of the 90s sitcom. And while this movie opens with about 10 to 15 minutes of straight 90s sitcom, none of it was funny or satirical in a way that had me entertained. Instead, I disliked all the characters. I found them to be extremely annoying, which is disappointing because Nick Frost is great and Alicia Silverstone is great, and everybody in this film are fully committed to what's going on here. However, their characters are incredibly annoying and frustrating. The movie is so bleak and mean-spirited that it kind of saps all the fun out of this thing, and is wildly offensive in a lot of ways. And I'm not some prudish guy, but going into this film, I wasn't expecting it to be so offensive to religious people. I'm not religious at all. And the only message I'm able to glean from this film is that, thoughts and prayers do absolutely nothing. And while I tend to agree with that sentiment, I'm not sure it had to go to the depths that it does to say these things, or really even what's the point of it. And it makes me question why they went with this 90s sitcom thing, but don't really do that much with it. I get the juxtaposition of the happy family you see on TV who solves problems with family, love, and religion or whatever, versus whatever we go to the depraved places this movie goes. I just don't see the purpose or the humor in that, I guess. Or maybe it's just the execution on the humor in that, because there's one thing that I laughed at in this movie, and it felt like classic Nick Frost from Hot Fuzz or something, where he's doing a dive and he slams something into, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but he slams something into some beakers and stuff like that, and he says, "Science, motherfucker," and that got a little chuckle out of me. But that was oddly out of place within the realm of this film. This movie is just dark, bleak, and depressing, and a slog to get through. There is about 10 minutes near the end of just incredible violence that is semi-enjoyable, because you've been slogging along for so long, seeing so many characters be abused, so many depraved things, that you're just waiting for some sort of reprieve from it, or some sort of justice for our characters. And when it comes, it's all right, I guess. It's better than nothing, but it definitely wasn't a satisfying end for me in any way to make this movie worth watching. So if you're really into absurd nihilistic humor, you might find something to this, but for me, it just doesn't connect in enough places to make it sense. It doesn't seem to really have anything to say about the 90s sitcoms or the tropes within them, so I'm not sure, again, why they use that framing device. It's convoluted and just so excessive to the point that you become desensitized to a lot of things, and so I just really didn't like this movie, guys. And maybe it's just not a movie for me, but positives to say about it is there is good production value and there is good performances for what the movie is asking of the actors. So I just really didn't like this movie, guys. I just wanted something fun. No, I just wanted something fun, and this was not fun at all. It is a crazy house. But man, This is a rough movie. I really don't recommend this thing. Yeah, that's Krazy House. Let me know if you've seen it. I would love to know other people's opinions. Maybe I'm way off on this thing, because this is probably the most negative I've been about a film for a long time. I was considering watching an Amityville movie this week, and I'm talking about like a new Amityville movie, and I said, no, I'm not going to put myself through that, but it probably would have been better than this movie, honestly. So for me, this one misses the mark. But let me know, like I said, if you've seen it, what you think. Let me know if there's anything else I should be checking out. Leave a like, leave a comment. That helps out the channel, guys. And I'll catch you here next time. Goodbye.